All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about an industry that literally builds the world around us. But honestly, it's often bogged down by some really old school problems. I'm talking about construction. We're going to explore a completely new way to run a business in this space, one that swaps those overflowing spreadsheets for, get this, a dedicated digital crew. This quote, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This isn't just about business. We're talking about someone's life. It doesn't matter if you're running a plumbing company or a huge multi-million-dollar firm, that administrative grind, it takes a real personal toll. And it turns out, this universal problem actually has a name. So what is this hidden cost that's draining so many of these businesses? It's called the operator tax. And no, this isn't a tax you pay to the government. It's one you pay with your time, your profits, and yeah, your weekends. And there it is. The operator tax is basically the villain of our story today. Think about it. It's every hour a master electrician wastes fighting with a spreadsheet. It's every single weekend a general contractor loses to a mountain of invoices. It's every dollar a plumber misses out on because a call went to voicemail while they were on a job. It's the massive cost of forcing skilled craftspeople to be administrators. So, here's our game plan. We've laid out the problem, this really expensive operator tax. Now we're going to explore the solution, which is hiring a completely new kind of employee. Then we'll see them in action on the job site, you'll get to meet the whole crew, and we'll see what it really means to finally let builders do what they do best, build. Okay, so how do you actually fight back against this operator tax? Well, we're not talking about just hiring more people in the old-fashioned way. This is about a fundamental shift in how you think about your back office. It's about hiring your very first digital employee. And this is the absolute core concept right here. The very last thing a busy contractor needs is another complicated piece of software they have to learn, right? So Nextvert just flips that whole idea on its head. It's service as a software. You don't learn it, you hire it. These are specialized AI agents that literally join your team to do very specific jobs. And this is the mission, the whole reason for this thing to exist. It is that simple and honestly, that powerful. Every single feature, every agent, every line of code is there to do one thing: automate the office work so that the skilled people can get back on the tools. All right, so the theory is great, but what does this actually look like on a muddy, chaotic, real-life job site? Let's see this digital crew in action. We're going to break down the specific daily grinds for 3 different types of construction pros and see exactly how these agents solve some of their biggest headaches. So first up, we've got the general contractor, the GC, the conductor of the whole orchestra. They're managing dozens of moving parts and their pain points are just relentless. We already talked about paperwork Sunday, but then there's the lien waiver trap. This is a huge financial risk. If you pay a sub without the right paperwork, you could literally be on the hook to pay them again. And of course, the constant frustrating job of herding cats, just chasing down subcontractors for updates and invoices. And check this out. This is the transformation. Before, the GC is personally hounding people for a critical legal document. Now, they just hire Lex, their digital legal assistant. Lex automatically checks every single invoice and will not release payment until the correct lien waiver is attached. Just like that. Problem solved, risk eliminated, Sunday reclaimed. Okay, next up, let's talk about the first responders of the construction world: mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, the service trades. For these folks, the phone ringing is the sound of money. So what happens when it rings and nobody's there to pick it up? Well, that's a missed call. And that one missed call could be over $1,000 in lost revenue, gone straight to a competitor. Add in all that wasted windshield time from bad dispatching and unbilled parts from the bone pile on the back of the truck, and you've basically got a leaky bucket of cash. And this is how you plug that leak. Picture this: a homeowner's AC breaks on a hot Saturday. Before, their frantic call goes straight to voicemail. What do? They immediately call the next company on Google. But with Nextvert, their agent Aegis answers instantly 24/7. Aegis qualifies the lead, is this an emergency, and books the job right into the calendar on the spot. That $1,200 isn't lost anymore. It's captured. The receptionist that never sleeps. I mean, that just perfectly sums it up, right? It's a team member who is always on, always professional, and never, ever lets a lead slip through the cracks. It's a total game changer for any business that relies on incoming calls. And finally, let's look at the craftsmen, the carpenters, the masons, the people who are actually doing the incredible physical work. Their biggest enemy is often this thing called scope creep. The client says, "Hey, while you're here, could you just move this wall a few feet?"
The carpenter, wanting to be helpful, agrees, but in the chaos of the job, they totally forget to create a formal change order. And what happens? They end up doing hours of extra work for free.
This is where their digital bookkeeper, Fiducia, steps in. The carpenter finishes that conversation with the client, pulls out their phone, and just leaves a quick voice note. Hey, Fiducia, add 4 hours of labor and $200 in materials for moving that wall. Instantly, Fiducia generates a professional change order and texts it to the client for approval right then and there. No more free work. Every single change is documented and billed. It's that simple. So we've seen them in action, right? Solving real problems for real tradespeople. Now let's formally meet the team. This is your new, fully staffed digital back office. So you've got Aegis, your front desk manager who never misses a single call. Then there's Fiducia, your bookkeeper who chases down payments so you don't have to have those awkward conversations. Lex is basically your pocket general counsel, handling all that tricky paperwork. And then there's Maestro, who acts as the foreman, the operational brain connecting all of them and giving you a simple morning briefing on the state of your entire business. When it's all said and done, hiring a digital crew really just adds up to one thing: freedom. It all comes back to that simple mission we saw earlier, the freedom to just focus on your craft. I love this line because it challenges the way most of us deal with technology. We spend so much of our time learning complicated systems, feeding them data. I mean, essentially, we work for our software. The whole idea here is to just flip that dynamic completely. You don't work for Nextvert, you hire it, and it works for you. And the path to getting started is designed to be just as simple. You start a trial, you hire your first agent based on whatever your biggest headache is, whether that's missed calls or late payments, and then you just get back to doing the work you actually love, and you let your new digital employee handle the rest. And that is really what this all comes down to: removing that operator tax to unleash the skill, the craft, and the expertise of the people who are actually out there building our world. So the question this leaves me with is, in this age of AI, what other operator taxes are we all paying in our own jobs without even realizing it? Thanks for tuning in.